Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods. Please note, this story contains elements of war, animal sacrifice and torture.
The gods versus the Titans. In the time before humans, there was the gods and the Titans.
The gods were great beings with immense powers, and Zeus was their leader. The Titans were powerful giants, who were older than the gods. They fought for power in a great war that lasted many, many years.
There were two Titans called Prometheus and Epimetheus, who were twin brothers.
The name Prometheus means foresight and he was the wiser of the two, and the name Epimetheus means hindsight, but this is a tragic tale for another time. The brothers turned against their fellow Titans and joined with Zeus and the gods, and together through many battles and with great bravery, they proved themselves to be fine warriors in Zeus' army.
When the war was won, Zeus praised Prometheus and Epimetheus.
They watched as the defeated Titan army was sent to the fiery pits of Tartarus in the Underworld. They watched as another of their brothers, Atlas, was doomed to hold the earth in the sky for all eternity. They did not come to live on Mount Olympus with the other gods, instead they made their homes on the earth and visited the gods in their palaces.
Creating animals and humans.
Prometheus visited Athena, the goddess of wisdom, who taught him many things about astronomy, mathematics, architecture, navigation, metalworking and writing. Zeus tasked the brothers with creating the animals of the earth and giving creature the traits of the gods. Epimetheus took to this challenge happily, bestowing the gift of flight to one creature, giving another scales to shine in the sun, another had claws to climb trees, and yet another could swim and never come to the surface to breathe. As Epimetheus created animals, Prometheus took some mud and began to sculpt. First he made a strong torso, then clever hands, sturdy feet and bright eyes.
He had made them in the image of the gods themselves.
Athena thought that this invention was very well made, and so she breathed life into them. Prometheus and Athena had created the first humans. Prometheus asked his brother for a trait of the gods to give to his creation, but when Epimetheus looked, he had already given all the traits away.
The humans would have no godly traits to help them in life. When Zeus saw the humans that Prometheus had created, he laughed. "Ha! Yes, these will do very well.
These humans are simple creatures, they can remain on earth and neither fly in the sky nor swim in deep waters. They may look like the gods, but they will remain mortal. We will allow them to look up to Mount Olympus, the home of the gods, and to worship us and our power." Prometheus frowned.
He thought his creations were more important than that, and that they could one day have a greater purpose. He promised that when he found the opportunity, he would do what he could to help the fragile creatures he had created. Worshipping the gods.
Zeus gave Prometheus another task. Since the humans on Earth would worship the gods, they should be told how to offer tributes and sacrifices properly.
That way they would know that they must give the gods the first pick of anything that was valuable.
Prometheus saw this as a chance to cheat the great god and teach him a lesson. He suggested that he would show the humans how to sacrifice a bull, and how to split the remains into two parts. Zeus agreed that he would simply choose whichever of the two parts had the most value, and so the humans would learn how to worship.
tricking Zeus.
Prometheus began to make 2 piles of the sacrifice.
On one side he laid all the healthy meat that could be eaten and the skin that could be worn to keep warm.
He hid all of this under the remains of the bull's great and smelly stomach and guts.
On the other pile, he put the bones and the gristle of the animal and covered it with the fattiest meat.
He taught this separation to the humans, and then called Zeus to come and choose which portion he thought was the better tribute. Zeus looked in disgust at the stomach and offal and quickly chose the part with the fatty flesh and took it back to Mount Olympus to show the other gods how well they were worshipped. When Zeus uncovered the worthless bones under the layer of tissue, he was embarrassed by his mistake.
He had left the best of the meat behind, and had been tricked by Prometheus the Titan. Punishing humans.
Zeus knew that Prometheus cared for his human creations, and so, to punish the Titan for his tricks, Zeus declared, "No human may use fire on earth, neither to cook with nor to keep warm." You will be blinded by the dark of night, and you will never forget how powerful the gods are, and how it is by our power you have any food or warmth at all.
Perhaps then you will remember to always worship us properly and not challenge us with these tricks again. The humans shivered in fear and in the cold.
They had none of the traits of the gods, and without fire they would stay weak. Prometheus was outraged. He could not stand by as the humans struggled to survive. Secretly that night, he climbed the steep rocks of Mount Olympus all the way to the very top where lay the workshop of Hephaestus, god of blacksmithing and fire.
Hephaestus' workshop was a great forge, where the weapons of the gods were made.
In a corner he saw the arrows of Artemis, goddess of the hunt, and on a bench there lay a pile of Zeus' own thunderbolts ready to smite the earth. Prometheus crept forwards to the gigantic anvil and the blazing fire of the hearth. He took a single spark of the god's fire and stored it within a vessel he had made inside a hollow stalk of fennel. Safely he brought the spark back to the humans, and while he stayed he taught them all the things that would help them to be strong. The rise of civilizations. Thanks to Epimetheus' foolishness, the humans had not received any of the traits of the gods. Prometheus brought them these gifts instead. Along with the gift of fire, he taught them mathematics and architecture to build safe and strong towns.
They learnt astronomy and navigation, and soon they could sail the sea. He taught them to write and to forge metal and create things that would last for centuries. Fire meant that the humans could care for themselves, but it also meant that they could forge weapons, and then they waged wars. They chopped trees to build their homes, they traveled the seas and soon spread all over the world.
Some humans became kings and others were trapped as slaves among their own kind. Prometheus' flames were responsible for the rise of civilizations and empires as humans embraced their power. Some became so powerful that they even questioned the authority of Zeus and the gods on Mount Olympus. Some thought that they themselves were gods. The vengeance of Zeus. Zeus was livid. Not only had Prometheus stolen from the gods, but he had destroyed, perhaps forever, the subservience of humans. Most would still worship the power of the Olympians, but there would always be someone who would try to trick and scheme.
Zeus' vengeance was cruel. He captured Prometheus and had Hephaestus chain him to a cliff in unbreakable bonds.
Zeus then called upon a vulture who came upon Prometheus every day and pecked and clawed and ate the Titan's liver before flying away. Every night, Prometheus' body healed and his liver would regrow, ready to be attacked again in the morning.
Through all his torture, Prometheus never regretted rebelling against Zeus. His name was Foresight, and he had always known that humans would change the world for good or for ill. His resilience in the face of oppression became a popular myth, and even today, he is celebrated for bringing knowledge, progress, and power to human hands.